Friendly neighborhood sicko baby's back. Good morning, Vegas. Good morning, party people. Good morning. Well, unfortunate scenarios. We were supposed to rock a couple of back-to-back podcasts today. The first guest partied too hard in Vegas for an anniversary. Second guest, things happen. We'll get him back on. I'll get him out here next week. So you guys just get my sexy ass again all by myself. Sometimes we got to do our dirt all by our lonely. We're just going to dabble into some fucking crazy stories maybe and touch up on a few things and talk shit maybe about a few things and just kind of keep running and gunning. I didn't think these guests would not be able to make it. Otherwise, I would have had some call-ins lined up or something else as a backup plan. So, fuck, just one of them days. I guess it's just meant to be me. So, I think I've dabbled into why I got into the game with the homie's wife and all that. Why I stayed in the game basically is just because the game came naturally to me. It's a lot of fun. It was easy. Fuck, who doesn't want to be around hot-ass chicks all day? Granted, you're dealing with a lot of fucking nerds and different fucking retards sometimes in the industry, whether it be management, ownership, or fucking other co-workers. But for the most part, the perks are a lot better than the fucking letdowns and that shit. You know what I mean? I mainly was doing it in Cali for the longest of time. Bounced around to a lot of clubs. We already gave you the details on the 2-week Wayne. I don't want to waste my time. I wasn't going to waste theirs. And I stand by that. We'll get more Cali people on here down the road as well, or some Cali call-ins. Now that Marcos came on last week, the boy before, my man Ryan Jackson the week before, people are in Cali getting their feathers ruffled up. They're like, shit, I want to be on. So we'll try to start lining that kind of stuff up and get more Cali stories popping off, since predominantly that's where I was at and the industry I was at. And I really don't think there's too many out there left in the game from when I came up, other than a few cats here and there. You know what I mean? My boy Chop's still rocking it out there. Rialto for Zoe. You know what I mean? We got Ryan Jackson still in the game. We got Jason Braga out there rocking in the game for the Holiday team. OC in LA, Norwalk. We got there's a few different little cats still wandering. Larry out there. I think Larry's DJing now for the Club Sin team or Rio's team or Mr. Kim's team, but whichever spot. I think he's out there in Beverly Hills. How sick is that? A club in Beverly Hills. We got to get that guy to call in and see if there's any kind of what the Rodeo pussy's like out there. That might be something beautiful as well. But, you know, there's still a few homies out there lingering, which I'm glad to see and happy to see. You know, we lost a lot of good soldiers in the game due to all this nonsense with management and ownership, and now we got all these fucking wannabe consultants that seem to think they know what the fuck they're doing. And I got to be careful what I say. I still got to keep my job, but holy fuck, that's all I'm going to say. Holy fuck. But these consultants that aren't really consultants, don't know what the fuck they're doing, and these owners that are listening to them, it's fucking insane, man. It's so wild. It's so wild. You know, I don't know how anybody cannot see through people's bullshit. Being in the game, man, I'm going to either see a fight coming on before it happens, or I'm going to see some shit talking before it happens, or I'm going to hear somebody's talking and it's such fucking bullshit and fuckery. You're like, wow, bro. And for an owner who might own multiple clubs, multiple businesses, to fucking believe or understand what these pussies are saying is fucking insane. Fucking insane. But that's the game right now, man. And this is the life we living in. You know, I talked to my boys in Cali. Everyone's like, oh, the industry's fucked up out there. Don't go back. You know, the industry's fucked up out here in Vegas. So it's like, fuck it. Let's just rock this podcast or blow up the podcast in, take the show on the fucking road and get shit really popping off and cracking. We all know the game plan already. I've said it a couple times probably on here. But we got some big things in the making, some shit gonna go down. Maybe I'll talk to the podcasters over here and see where we can, if I can, what it'll take to get me to do a couple recordings at a strip club maybe, or do some live shit at a strip club even. That might be something kind of fun down the road here. So we got some big shit popping off for 2025. Right now we're about to just try to close out and survive 2024. For those of you that don't know, it's slow season basically in Vegas now. We got a lot of cowboy people in town, NFR people, all the rodeo people. I think they had the big cowboy Christmas party last night at one of the convention centers. So there's a lot of that shit going on. That's our last hope, basically, in Cali. I mean, in Vegas right now, is these cowboy people jumping in the club and partying. So over the weekend, I was hitting some Morgan Wallen, some Garth Brooks, some fucking Alabama, some fucking Posty Malone, some different kind of shit like that. All the different country shit, some Jelly Roll, Lainey Wilson, you know, giving them what they want, mixing it in with all the other stuff. So it was cool. It was fun. Good times. Pulled off a good weekend, it seemed like. You know, 2025 is going to be an interesting year. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be in Cali or Vegas, or if it's going to be both. I'm going to start figuring some shit out here down the road, or after all this holiday stuff and closing out the new year. Maybe talk to Jesus, see what he has to say about things, you know. So we'll kind of run with it and gun with it from there. But I think it'll be dope taking this on the road, doing some live podcasts out there with some different strippers across the world. Maybe bringing my own team along with me and shit, and my own little crew of dancers maybe, and they do some guest dancing. I do a little guest DJing. You know what I mean? Help some of these people out, show some of these other whack-ass DJs out there how it's really fucking done. You know, so that's some big shit I want to pop off and set off. So anybody wants to come along for the ride, let me know. You know what I mean? We're just trying to pop shit off and get some big things cracking. So let's get into a little bit of some stories, just some strip club stories, man. Fuck it. I've given you all some of the lowdowns on all the bullshit with operations here and there on some shit, and, you know, dabbling into some different shit. I got to get some bartenders and waitresses on here, though. Shout out to my ex May May out there. I'll still hold it down. Best bartender on the planet. I don't think she does it anymore, obviously, but baddest and best on the planet. So no, I'm not trying to kiss any ass, motherfuckers. I'm just giving the real shit. She's married. I ain't playing no games. I'm not a home wrecker. Just giving out shout outs. But yeah, man. So I want to talk about this one time at TJ Showgirls. You know, back then, that club was wild as fuck. It was basically owned and ran by two ex-truck drivers. They were homies, but they also argued and fought a lot. Both had different kind of ideas or perspectives, somewhat stayed on the same page. Now, it was wild there because as a manager, you had to do a few things that I'm not going to talk about necessarily on here, not yet. Cause I don't know if you're, you know, it's just probably better not to say, but let's just say that it was a good ass job if you're a manager there at TJ's. And with that being said, you know, I told you guys already it was the dry hump days, the R. Kelly dry hump days, $10 lap dances. I'm telling you, man, we had 40 to 50 girls. Fuck, every night, 30 to 50 girls cracking. Every night cracking. It didn't matter what day of the week. Bomb ass looking girls. Sick group of girls. What was it back there, man? There was Lexi. There was a girl named Wednesday. Michelle, fucking Laura, Bobby, fuck some baddies, man. I'm telling you, Randy. The crew was sick. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was predominantly Samoan and Mexican. So I was fortunate enough that they let a little white boy like me in. I think it was only me and Bobby Boy and the other homie Dean. We were the only white boys there. And they showed us love and respect, and fuck, we gave it back, and we all just kicked ass under one roof. And like we said, man, you had a blast over there. You had a good ass time, but at the same time, fuck around and find out at that spot. So back then in the game, pill popping was a motherfucker, man. I think that was the fucking drug of choice back in the days during that heyday. Fucking strippers just popping pills, probably popping them in their pussy and their ass. Who the fuck knows? But I had an incident one time where this little girl's running around all over the fucking club, spazzing the fuck out. And I'm like, I can't think of her name. It was a little white chick. But I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was me covering on a day shift. Always when I worked a day shift, it was always some sort of weirdo fuckery. But you know, on the day shifts back then, it was kind of like the older girls. You know what I mean? The younger ones were at night. The older ones were during the day, getting that day money from them little rich white motherfuckers coming in and out of the club, sneaking away from their wives and shit, or taking a break from work. And I'm out there in the heart of OC, so we had some money coming through the fucking doors. So anyways, you know, I approached this young dancer, and I'm like, what's going on? Are you good? Like, what are you tripping on? And she's like, the leprechauns are fucking chasing me all over the place. And I'm like, fuck you mean leprechauns? She's like, the leprechauns. Look, there's a few right there. Obviously, there wasn't shit right there. But I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, you know, I had to deal with that kind of fuckery. I don't know if I brought up the one about the you know, that girl ended up, I had to let her go. I actually was a nice guy, so I basically sent her to another club, paid for her taxi to go to another fucking club, had my boy hire over there. I didn't want to have us dealing with any of that kind of bullshit. So I'm a good guy. Man, if I fired your ass, I was always a good guy about it. I wasn't a dick. I was always polite, cool. I don't ever think I as a manager, I don't think I ever overexerted my power or any of that kind of shit or had a power trip. Like, I just treated everybody fucking equal, and let's rock and roll, let's make dough. You know what I mean? Shit, I even had to fire, I remember the owner, same spot, TJ Showgirls, hits me up to fire one of the managers. And it's like, you know, in between shifts. So I got to shit can this dude right when I'm coming on. And I'm like, fuck, how the fuck? This is a manager. And like, I had never fired another manager. So I'm like, fuck, this is going to suck. He was a cool cat. He just didn't fit in the mix the right way. You know what I mean? And wasn't getting along good with the girls, and his girl count was down and just a few other things. But So I'm shit canning the dude, and the dude's like, well, fuck, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get home. His car was like in the shop, and fucking he didn't have no money for a taxi and all this shit. And I'm like, fuck, man. So I fire a motherfucker, and then I gotta drive the pussy home and take his ass home. So that's how nice of a fucking guy I was. I fire a guy, and then I gotta drive his ass to his pad and drop him the fuck off. But TJ's was crazy with the whole scene like that, man. We were a solid ass group. The other management solid as fuck. Everyone was just all riding for each other and trying to make some dough. There would be a Taco Bell right across the street, so everybody's fucking, you're in and out of Taco Bell for the dancers, or you're fucking going down the street to the liquor store and you're getting fucking liquor store shit for the dancers. And back then, fuck, you go to the liquor store, buy these chicks, these 40 ounces of malt liquor, St. Ides, Old E, Mickey's, whatever the fuck, Colt 45s, whatever everybody's fucking drinking. Shit, I remember a couple times I would take and go get a large Taco Bell cup and fill my shit up with some St. Ides, Old E, and just sit there and fucking sip away while I'm working some nights, you know what I mean? But that was the game back then. It was just chill, cool, everyone making dough. You know what I mean? We had a few tricks of the trade over there at TJ's. If you know, you know. And, we used to get a lot of the different, like the Tito Ortizes and the Tikis and the Rob McCulloughs and all those different cats, all them different up-and-coming fighters rolling in and out of the spot. We would get a lot of probably big-time OC drug deals. I'll never forget. Again, covering a day shift, I'm out there on there used to be this long old bench out in front of TJ's, and these fucking guys show up like at 11 something. We open at 11 something, just fucked up. And they were like frequent fucking, adversaries of the strip clubs and shit, but they were like old school rock star type motherfuckers. So this guy, he's out there on the fucking bench. He kicks off his fucking boot, kicks open a needle, fucking gets a syringe and fucking sucks out some Jack Daniels and then shoots the shit in his fucking toe veins or toe. Fucking the dude, the guys would be fucking shooting up fucking Jack Daniels because they were fucking done every drug, I guess, and nothing worked anymore but shooting that shit up or whatever. Now, that was a trip and a half. I never had seen some shit like that. But yeah, so I mean, back in the days, man, especially in the heart of OC like that, it was wild ass, crazy ass shit. You know what I mean? The OC's crazy, man. It's a lot of fun out there. I was at Mr. J's. Dennis Rodman would always go in that motherfucker. And when Dennis Rodman would roll in, the dude helped himself to the back to jump behind the bar, and he'd start bartending and shit. So shit would just get wild. He'd just be back there making drinks, bartending, throwing shots at people, just getting crazy. And it's like, holy shit. So, I mean, man, it's wild, all the shit out there with that and the OC like that. You know what I mean? Then you got the other clubs out there. What was it? I can't think of the name that spot was at. I'd rocked it for a little bit there in OC for Buddha, House of Eden. Cool little ass spot, probably about as big as this fucking studio, but fucking crazy little joint right there, always getting filled up and packed out and shit. So, I mean, you have Cali girls in Anaheim. Obviously, the LGCs out there are still the King Kongs in Cali. You got the OC11 now. You got the Satin Topless out there. Sahara Theater burned down, I guess, back in August. So that's some crazy shit. I saw some shit online today at some Club Skin that I think's out there in LA or out there in Canoga Park or something. It sounds like some shit went on between a customer and a dancer, some stalker fuckery shit. And I think the cat burned the fucking club. Like, look, shit, bitch, if you ain't gonna be with me, I'm gonna fucking, all right, I'll take away your dough and burn the club down. So it sounds like some shit like that went on. So people, don't fall in love with these dancers. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. I've had a good amount of exes be dancers, but that's just because I'm in the game already, and it just, you hook up with what you work with or what you're around all the time. But as a customer, even myself, I got to remind myself when I'm going to these clubs out here, fuck, all right, these chicks are here for dough and dough only. You know what I mean? They're going to try to charge you for your fucking time, for a drink, for some fucking food. You know what I mean? There's no holds fucking barred. That's the mentality and mindset of a lot of dancers these days. And it is what it is, man. These motherfuckers want their money. You know, they got their kids, or they got their bills, or they got their baby daddies, or they got their pimps they got to give all their shit to. You know what I mean? That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other game, is pimps in the game. You know what I mean? They're all over the place. They're Cali, fucking Vegas, AC, everything like that. You know what I mean? And it just comes with the territory, you know? I ain't got nothing bad to say about them. I mean, if a girl wants to give them their money, and if that's what they think is best for their finances, is, and look at them as a financial advisor, that's what they're pretty much called these days anyways. I think not necessarily pimps, they're financial advisors. And shit, more power to them, man. That's just a wicked game right there, because you get caught, you in trouble for some shit, that's for sure. But that being said, you know, um, back to TJ Showgirls real quick. There was a pimp that would be coming quite a bit, and one of the managers, you know, would let him know, like, yo, bro, you know what I mean? You can't be around here. Like, you know, if you're doing the drop off, do the drop off, pick up, and get the fuck out of Dodge. Well, that pimp decided to stretch it a little bit one day, and fucking sure enough, it got wind back to one of the other managers, and that motherfucker went out there with a Glock and just started fucking dumping on this fucking pimp in his ride. Shit got crazy out there. Fucking that guy's speeding away like he's fucking Starsky and Hutch and shit. Fucking manager still fucking dumping. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know if that guy got hit or not. He almost ran over like fucking 5 people in the parking lot. So it was fucking real in the field out there in some of them fucking days. A lot of fights out there as well. You know what I mean? I told you a lot of people got their asses kicked. A lot of people got thrown in the fucking trash bin back there. A lot of people got fucked up in the fucking parking lot out front, just left out there until they were up and at them. A lot of girl fights. You know, I had these 2 girls bombing on each other one morning. Again, another fucking day shift covering. So I'm like, look, all right. So I kick open the back door. I said, listen, we're going to handle this one way or another. So I want you 2 to go outside right now. Whoever wins keeps their job. And they're looking at each other. And I said, so what are we doing? Who's you guys jumping out there to fight, or are we just going to get back to work? And fuck it. They shook hands and just got back to work. So there's ways of handling shit or calling these motherfuckers out on their shit. You know what I mean? There's a way of checking these women, man. But nowadays, you don't got these managers that are doing any of that. They're letting the girls run the fucking club. It's like these guys ain't been around hot chicks before in their life or something. You know what I mean? And just giving them away free house fees, or trying to fuck them or flirt with them or do all the extra nonsense that don't even need to be fucking done. Yeah, everybody flirts. I'm up in the DJ booth fucking flirting, man. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. You're around hot ass chicks, you're talking your shit, you know what I mean? But I'm not sitting there asking them to go home with me or any kind of shit like that. You know what I mean? Especially not anywhere where I work. You know, fucking Those type of relationships end up fucking up your money one way or the other. Um, whether even in with my exes being a bartender, man, you know what I mean? Like a lot of girls were talking a gang load of shit, saying I was doing a bunch of shit and I wasn't really doing shit. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, fuck, man. Just like one chick I was with back in the days at Fritz's in Bellflower. I was out on a date with her. We were together. The next day she went to work and these girls were up in the dressing room talking about how they were out on a date with, or they were out fucking me the night before. And I was literally out with that chick. So she knew they were full of shit, but that's the shit that was going on. But I guess if you're a sexy fucker like myself, that kind of shit's gonna happen. You know what I mean? We can't fake it. We just fucking take it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? The game's hard relationship wise, man. Why don't we dabble a little into that? Relationships and fucking the strip club game. I wish I had a couple of fucking dancers where I can see their perspective on this one, but we'll get into that maybe with some down the road. Me, I was with a few different exes, and one ex in particular I was with at Fritz's, and I had the managing opportunity to go to TJ's, and she was basically kind of like, look, if you go there, we're done. Like, we're not going to fucking be with each other anymore. I don't, like, and I'm like, what's the big deal? What's the difference? You know what I mean? And she's like, look, that's full nude. You're going to be seeing pussy all the time. Chicks, pussies wide open, buttholes wide open on stage, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, man, I'm just going to be there for the fucking money. Like, what, like, you're tripping. Like, I'll be good. You know what I mean? And it basically came down to a decision, and fuck it, I chose the game. You know what I mean? Just like another scenario, I chose the game another time on a different scenario as well, and chose to go to Vegas. I could have stayed in Cali and probably been with this one chick, and decided, fuck it, man, let me go follow my dreams and jump out here to Vegas. And well, we all know how Vegas turned out. It's fucking 8.5 years later. Biggest hater, cock block, fucking selfish people city in the fucking country, probably. You know what I mean? But fuck it. You know what I mean? Live and learn. We don't lose. These L's aren't losses. They're learning experiences, and fuck it. You know what I mean? But man, in the game, especially like when I was with my ex, it was always hard seeing her, all these dudes hitting on her at the bar. She's the bartender. I'm the DJ. So I'm literally looking right down the fucking way. And there she is doing shots with motherfuckers, partying with motherfuckers. And I'm up in the booth. Granted, now girls are all coming at me and hollering at me. But for the most part, a lot of the dancers there knew me and her were together. So, that shit's, not as crazy as the facade my lady's got to put on with these other little fuck buckets that are trying to hit on her to get drinks and shit in her maker cells. But, there's a lot of that kind of shit in the game. Just like when I was with one of my exes in the full nude. Now, imagine that, full nude, and my chick's on stage showing her pussy, showing her butthole, fucking, I think, a good amount of my homies saw my chick at the time's fucking pussy and butthole. You know what I mean? Fucking butt naked right there on stage. Different homies. Fucking, that shit's just crazy when you look back and think about it. You know what I mean? And back then, I'm new to the industry still kind of, so I'm kind of like, fuck. I'm walking by, seeing my chick. Now, granted, back then, like I said, it was only the dry humping, but it was still fucking some action. You know what I mean? That's still your fucking chick basically right there fucking grinding on fucking dick. You know what I mean? And you're like, fuck, this is kind of tough. And you come out the manager's office, fuck, butt naked on fucking stage. You know what I mean? And then you got all these motherfuckers trying to hit on her. So, man, like, that fucks with a lot of people's mentals on some shit. You got to be a confident, fucking solid motherfucker to even deal with any of that fuckery. And I'm still new to the biz, roughly. You know what I mean? And like, that took its toll on me a couple of times, man. I fucking snapped a couple of times on some shit. You know what I mean? Just as well as she snapped on some shit sometimes. You know, I'm rolling down Beach Boulevard heading for the 405 South because we lived out in Rancho Santa Margarita, and fucking she's bitching at me that she's butt naked on stage, taking all her clothes off, and I'm managing. And I guess that day I made more money than her, and she was all pissed off about it. And I'm like, look, man, it's just fucking dough. Like, stop tripping. Like, we're going to be working tomorrow. You're going to be working tomorrow. Like, we got to take the good days with the bad. That's the game. And she's just fucking raging, man. Wouldn't shut the fuck up. So I'm dipping in her car and I kick open the sunroof and I'm like, look, here's $700. This is the shit I made right here. I threw all that shit out the fucking sunroof. I was like, there, you happy? Now you made more money than me. And that chick looked at me like I was fucking crazy as fuck. And I'm like, what? Now you made more than me. Can you just shut the fuck up now and we drive home? My homie's in the back in his ride seeing fucking money flying out the fucking sunroof. This pussy I could see in the rearview mirror fucking ducking and dodging cars trying to pull over. I know that pussy went and tried to grab some of that dough. Shout out the homie Faster Loco. But yeah, how crazy is that shit? You know, man, it's a crazy game because, you know, you get jaded at the same time. Now I don't even be like checking chicks out. I'm not like all hooty hoo on these motherfuckers or like eye gogging or fucking staring at them on stage or any kind of weird ass shit. Picking the music, picking the lights, picking this fucking shit and fucking keeping the show fucking rocking. You know what I mean? And it's like, before, yeah, of course, you're like, fuck, you're surrounded by beautiful bitches. You know, you're like, bro, this is insane. And chicks were hot as fuck. The clubs I was at, especially early on, bangers, man, hot as fuck, whether it was day or night. So that was what was wild, man. And like Marcos was saying, he walked away with just one kid and no STDs. Fuck, man, I walked away with no kids. I'm not sure about the STDs. I fucking have to, I don't know, I'm gonna plead the fifth on some shit like that. But fucking wild times, man. It's hard, though. It's definitely hard to have relationships, especially in the industry. I can only imagine out here in Vegas because you got a lot of these rich motherfuckers hollering at these girls, and these girls, man, can end up getting so vulnerable or could get in a fight with you. Next thing you know, you got some guy hitting them up with 10 G's to go back to the hotel room. Fuck, what do you think they're really going to do? Where do you think the morals are really going to go right there? You know what I mean? Like, they could get probably fucking 10 of you. You know what I mean? So it's just, I know right now, guaranteed, hands down, if I was a stripper, right now, I don't know what time it would be in the Caribbean right now, but I would legitimately be sucking dick on a fucking yacht in the Caribbean right now. Possibly even getting fucking gangbanged on a yacht right now in the Caribbean. For sure, doggy styled and sucking a dick right now in the Caribbean. That's just me if I was a dancer. You know what I mean? I'd be legit, cool, calm, collective, just sucking and fucking my way to the top. And me and Matt were talking about it just a little bit ago with these OnlyFans. I'd probably be sucking and fucking on OnlyFans too. And if I was a dancer out here in Vegas, I'd be sucking and fucking on the strip. Because why not? Fuck it. You know what I mean? Suck and fuck for a good 10 years. You ain't got to ever work again anymore. You know what I mean? Listerine the fuck up, condom the fuck up. And it is what it is, you know? Like, shit, go get tested, get checked out, try to be safe, not sorry, and fucking blast off, man. Have a good time. So it's probably good that I wasn't a dancer, to be honest, because fuck, I would have probably just have been a fucking whore. But I mean, I would have been a good ass whore, hopefully, and a pretty ass whore, you know? But relationships, man, are tough in this industry. It's too tough, man. It's that's why I fuck, man. I've been single now 16, 17 years. You know what I mean? It sucked going through some of these relationships and the ups and downs with it. Granted, there's a lot of positives as well with all that stuff, you know. But the game is about money, man. The game is to be sold, not told, like the homie Snoop once said. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, you're selling your soul basically to the dough if you think about it roughly, because even like family members, whether you dance or you fucking work in a club, they're pretty much not going to be too fucking happy about it unless it was something they did, like gangbangers and shit, where it's just passed on from generation to generation. But like I said, in my family, mom school teacher, father fireman, brother cop, I'm sure they probably weren't like, this motherfucker's stupid. You know what I mean? And maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if I would do things differently. Honestly, I don't think, other than like I said before, I would try to fucking not too weak Wayne it at a couple spots and maybe have a little bit more patience or something, you know? But fucking, it's all good. You know, I got this bigger game plan now. I'm going to finish this game off bigger and better and badder than ever. Try to, it's no saving the game realistically right now. It's everyone fucking fending for themselves, it seems like. But if I can save a couple of souls on the way, fuck it, whatever. It's all good. I'll do what I can do on that. But yeah, the game and its fuckery, it's a lost fucking cause if you think about it. You know, it's just about getting paid and everyone just looking into their own fucking pockets. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of teamwork anymore or camaraderie anymore on some shit, man. My team seems good and solid at my spot, thankfully. But I'm hearing stories and different shit at all these other spots or different shit out there in Cali. And it's just kind of like, fuck, dude. How did it come to this? You know what I mean? The nonsense is just fucking nonstop. But man, if you're out there and you're in a relationship in this industry, fuck, just have some fucking balls, have some confidence, have some faith, and fucking just try your best to love each other and not let the outside interferences fucking ruin things. Because otherwise, you give all that juice or power to everybody on the outside, it's ruined. You guys are fucking done. You know what I mean? And, you know, wake up out there, party people. Owners, wake up, man. Get rid of these dumb fucking consultants that don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? And especially out there in Cali, especially out here in Vegas. You know, that's why I can't wait to take this shit on the road so I can see what these other clubs are like around the world. It's going to be fucking dope. That's going to be awesome. And that's going to be the goal. You know what I mean? So I can really give you guys some lowdown. I can only talk so much shit about Vegas and Cali and tell so much of stories upon stories, which I got even more stories to tell and talk about. But what you need to be seeing is in action, some shit in action. Maybe me in action DJing, maybe me in action out there taking these road trips or these trips across the different spots and shit. You know what I mean? Different states and countries and fucking, showing you the real deal strip club shit. You know what I mean? The nitty gritty. And then who knows? Like I said, I'm going to dabble into that other side with the OnlyFans, Wayne Sikk Uncensored, and we'll be doing some of this with chicks topless or naked and talking some shit. And you'll have to subscribe, obviously, for that shit. But by then, I'll have to make sure some of these motherfuckers show up, show up. You know, that's the hardest part about this podcast shit. That's why you got me Solo-Dolo today. Motherfuckers are got lives and other shit going on, and everybody's doing everything, and fuck, it just fucks things up. You know, I knew that was going to be the hardest part about the podcast, and especially being out here in Vegas after being here 8.5 fucking years. You can tell, like I said, most selfish fucking people city on the fucking planet. It's absurd, man. Absurd. Crazy as fuck. The city's dope itself, the city. It's just the motherfucking people. You know, it's fucked up, man. But, you know, it is what it is. We're just gonna keep on trucking. Like I said, the game plan's there, the forefront's there. It's just time to execute. But yeah, man, that's good enough for today, I guess. You know, we got some shit off our chest, got some shit out there a little bit. Um, I don't know. Seems like this might be one of my weaker episodes, but you know, I was dependent on a couple of fucking people and it didn't work out. My backup plans weren't in effect, so I didn't get to fucking have that ready. So, because I thought these was fucking sure wins. I guess never fucking bet on a sure thing, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get fucking stung in the end. But listen, man, this game's not for everybody. That's fucking for sure. And if you're still in it, give yourself a fucking applaud. Give yourself a smack on the ass, a good game. Give yourself a little tap on the fucking shoulder because fucking good for you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, this game's wild. It's crazy. It's in and out. It's up and down, you know, and for me to be doing it this long and still have love for the game, that fucking says a lot because there's a gangload of fuckery and bullshit and fucking fuckery and bullshit going on that would have had anybody just tell the game to fuck off already. But my game plan's set in stone. It's set. We're ready to rock. We're going to set this shit off. I'm going to get you guys better guests, better people, better times, better stories. You know what I mean? We'll get this shit popping one way or the other. Like I said out there, man, like, share, subscribe my shit. Come on, if you're a homie, you're a real one, fucking do it. And like I said, if you ain't going to do it for me, do it for the game then. You know what I mean? Like I said, if we could save 1 or 2 souls, 3, 4, 5 souls, so be it. You know what I mean? And if you're a dancer out there, get in the Caribbean, suck some dick, take some doggy style. Peace out. God bless.